Okay. So, on to professions. I'm trying to figure out a good way of doing these. I think what I'm going to do is actually first alphabetize these, but I have a few more I kind of want to add. Um, Outlaw. Need to pull up my thesaurus. I think scientist would be good. Scientist, I think. Let's see. Ace pilot. Celebrity, veteran, explorer. Um, let's see. I'm not think of. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna go for these for now. I can always add more. Oh, you copied them down. Well, there we go. professions. Define your character's experience. These help you define who your character was before the campaign, before the game takes place. This professions are used in addition to what you decide is the back for your character. Professions define your character's experience. These help these help you the professions reasons in addition to what you say background is for your character. To enhance what you decide is background. If you want to make your character an academic that was forced to defend their home, and now they only know war. You make your character an academic that was forced to defend their home, and now they only know war. War. No. Science profession, well, helps taking the scientist profession will help with will enhance and give depth to your soldier character. Yeah. You could so be that has found their way to celebrity status as their skills improve. Actually, this pairing allows your character to explain certain skills and abilities. This pairing allows your character to explain certain skills and abilities. That you have that normal soldier would have that normal would not. This found their way to celebrity status as their skills improved. You're being on the streets of a city can inside, not coincide, what's a good word for that? Story of being on the streets. This case your backstory being on the streets would not, and allows the profession be used as a being used as a backstory being on the streets enhanced by the celebrity profession. If you want to make your character an academic that was forced to defend their home and not only in the war, then the science profession enhances and gives depth to your soldier character. This pairing allows your character to explain certain skills and abilities you have that a normal soldier would not, and allows the science profession to be used as a backstory. You could also be a street musician that found their way to celebrity status as their skills improved. Their skills. In this case, your backstory being on the streets is enhanced by the celebrity profession. Speaking of which, could have swore I had 8. I am missing 1. Yeah, I had 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna actually break these up in small paragraphs. Use your backstory or to enhance or to or in addition to your story. There's our courage to use their creativity and come up with a backstory if able. Sometimes people struggle with their creativity and they just rather use them as that, which is fine. Yeah. Trouble up with backstory, then I don't know, this feels weird. Like this is coming out as like it's like when you're making a tabletop RPG. I keep on flashing back to my days of scientific papers. You want personality, but this is a game about personality. You want to explain the rules, and if it's recommended, encouraged to create your backstory fable. But if you're having trouble with the backstory, yeah, then just pick a profession and build off of that. Building off on that is a great start. When choosing a profession, Profession. Oh, geez, I'm hitting all the buttons I shouldn't be. I also need to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with these professions. Like, am I doing kind of like the cultural specialties where I pick a bunch, or you get this every level? Hey, how's it going? Right now, I'm working on professions, which is like the backstories of 5th edition. And I'm doing okay. Trying to decide if I want it to be like, here's a whole bunch of front load bonuses and that's it. I do like the idea of like you growing with your profession, you're getting abilities. And I was thinking about like the whole cultural specialties where you actually that's a bad one, where you get to choose a bunch of abilities every level. You get a new ability, and there's a pool. And I think I like that because it gives you choice. And I like options, but I don't like complexity with options, which is a weird kind of contradictory statement most of the time. Which is why I guess I will try to make it work. When choosing a profession, you pick one ability of the profession, making your character you get to choose another call them abilities. I may need to call them something else depending what they are, but you can choose another ability every time you level up. So I'm going with 5 levels. There will be 5 abilities, so I'm thinking at least 1 or 2 more. Right. People who love the skies. I guess the skies. They have the need. They have the love of piloting ships. They have love of piloting ships, improving their skills, or their improving they are the best flyer around. It can't be soldiers. Give me soldiers. And fighting. Give me soldiers. Dog fighting among the stars. Or they can be cargo. Using their skills to travel the galaxy. Some are pilots for the love, for the thrill of high speed. Okay, so some of these will need to change as I kind of flesh out how space combat works, or movement. Yeah. You also need to kind of make these all the same power, which could be tough. Power you. Ships you pilot can move 2 more spaces than their engine states. So I was thinking about giving them an extra reaction, but I don't think that'll be the case. And I'm always trying to avoid just like straight up buffs. Obviously, it's going to be a thing because people like straight up buffs. I'm kind of included in that, but I also like uniqueness or something like you can move 2 more spaces, which is kind of a straight up buff. But I also want like abilities or actions, if you would. I remember the mercenary getting some actions for piloting. No. Maybe giving them abilities earlier on, which this one goes skills, right? Skills is piloting is a skill, right? Yeah. So I can have the whole double. Okay. Double your expertise in the pilot skill. It basically gives you more piloting skills. And what is that going to do? I like the idea of that affecting your ship's AC, as well as using piloting for maneuvers. So you have an easier time doing maneuvers, and you have an easier time, better defenses. Yeah. Extra pilot, further experience, teaching the pilot skill. Hmm. One thing I was thinking about is emergency basically jumps. Um, and, and that might always come into play. Um, yeah, that may not. I don't know. I was thinking. I lost track of that. Okay, so yeah. Emergency jumps. I think it'll be like a full turns, like as the pilot going. I'm going to do emergency jump, and then basically you stop, and then you jump out. The next turn, which gives basically every enemy ship a full chance to fight, but of course your crew can still fire back, repair. So I can either do um, when the pilot does an emergency jump or declares, um, they jump. Basically, it's like you're instantly out of there, which could be good because by the time you do an emergency jump, you declare you probably need to. I can also have it so they move around, so like the ship does not stop when you do an emergency jump. You would just kind of like fun enough Han Solo where he calculates on the fly then jumps off. But it really doesn't put you in the position. So I think just um being able to do an emergency jump the moment you declare it. emergency jump, you jump, waiting until next round. Let's see, what's another good thing? So, pilots fly. Yeah, I actually like the idea. High orbit drifting. Basically, weapons on ships, they're stuck to the sides you're on. So, like, on the port side, you can't shoot enemies on the starboard side if you're on the port side gun. So the pilot also kind of has to rotate where the gunners are. And the high orbit drift lets them do, because what normally we do, I kind of think Starfighter does it like this, is that even actually Warhammer does it too. You turn in rate degrees. So I'm kind of thinking about like a hex map because I feel like that's pretty good. So turning a degree. When you move, before or after you move, is basically it's gonna be like if you're flying straight lines, and like you can find a ground instant turn. But with high orbit drifting, you can turn up to 2 degrees at the end of it, because obviously you don't want to do it at the beginning. Although technically, if you're in the beginning, you're still technically moving. I don't even know if I want to call it degrees or rotations. I'm gonna call it degrees for now. You can move. You can actually rotate your ship 2 degrees instead of 1 before or after you end your movement each turn, each round. You can rotate your ship 2 degrees and so on. And that way they can, well, in the beginning they can help maneuverability, but at the end they can kind of go in and pivot their ship more so that their gunners can fire in better positions. Or they can rotate their ship to where their shields are better. The extra movement's pretty nice. The emergency jump's pretty cool. Piloting helps you with maneuvers. Full power lets you move too. It seems kind of basic, but movement is king. And I think I like the idea of them moving their full. They have to move their full speed. With full power, giving them more speed to kind of go around stuff, but they don't have to use it. But they also may change. I may just let them go their max distance. I mean, there's no gravity, but you can kind of argue that like they're just not putting more speed into it, because like you play like any kind of space fighting game, you can increase your speed and stuff, and while you still have gravity, like It's weird. It's one of the things I'll have to figure out. Or, you know, friction, I guess. Not gravity. Um, what's another cool ability? So, I don't even know if I want them all to be space combat. Because doubling your experience with pilot skill will help you with like landing and stuff like that. Um, movement. Um, I do like the idea of like people using spacecraft for racing because honestly, that will definitely happen. That's kind of where the high orbit drifting kind of comes from. The movement is definitely for like raceways. Out of here, extra pilots, kind of like military. Full power is more of like a tinker, but you can also say that's racing. Anything for, I don't even know if like cargo ships like or like bigger ships. Like these are all kind of for small, but for bigger ships, what would I do? And media, what do like cargo ships do? They only have weapons, but yeah, that's basically what these professions are going to be. Is just me kind of talking it out to myself and to who's ever watching and wants to give me input. Just trying to figure out cool spaceship things or bounty hunter things. University trip 2 degrees instead of 1. Before and after you end your turn. Yeah. Um, I don't know if I want a fuel mechanic because I just think that'd be um, I mean, you're already gonna have to keep track of ammunition and things like that. I don't know if, and granted, a lot of people DMs don't have their players keep track. I'm fine with that. Like, don't need reload mechanic be like the reload mechanic, but for fuel, don't know. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, the big cargo, big ships. So yeah, that is going to be kind of a crazy decision process of how it's kind of like I need to figure out what I want my ships to do before I can add the pilot stuff. Um, yeah, this is a challenge. Like, I mean, there are going to be bigger ships, and the main, like, again, thing about Starfighter, which is kind of the closest comparison. They had bigger ships, but like, you never get the feeling that they expect you to use them. But it's a possibility. I'm actually playing a Pirate Pathfinder 2 campaign, so there are NPCs we could utilize. Yeah, so that is my challenge. I think I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to move on to celebrity. You know, again, this is a marathon sprint. I can always come back to it, take some time to think about it. Um, famous. No. Out. That's galaxy. Could be streamer. Streamer. Or actor. Streamer. Actor. Or personality. No. Pilots. Not really, not pilots. Celebrities are their status to influence deals or yeah, the user status to influence deals. Game better. Or use their status to their goals. Yeah, some of these like crazy thing about making games is all these stuff kind of build on each other. And it's like, what order do I have them do it? Do I go to skills first before I figure out how negotiation works, or do I do this, do negotiation and come back? I think that's what I'm going to do, but it's just weird. Well, influence to use influence to target on negotiation. I can never remember how to spell this word. Gain advantage when attempting to target on negotiate. Knows you. Side. Also. Downtime. Downtime. You can can ship it, you can Tim made you him famous. For every hour you spend and make many credits. So I am a big fan of using dice for things that you don't really think that they're used for. I think this comes from me doing systems where D20s weren't even used, like using the percentile dice to see if you hit, or Savage Worlds, which is just a D10 system. Versus the D6 systems, which are pretty cool. I've been searching for an answer to check. Roll and nudge check. That does need answered. Roll additional D20 and add that to your roll. Yeah, already this seems kind of crazy compared to Pilot. I mean, Pilot gets an immediate skill boost. They get to, which may not be relevant, it may be relevant, but it's kind of the argument like a good DM should not have that, but stuff can happen, and abilities and just to dip out. I personally think rotating your ship that much can be kind of helpful. Moving through spaces, maybe not. But yeah, actually, that could be different. What if it's instead of moving through spaces? Because if you basically have to go straight. Yeah, can move up to their max spaces. Up to the max spaces their engine states. Yeah, I do like that. That is actually kind of strong then. I kind of want them to feel strong. Like there definitely will be abilities where just like stat buffs to skills and things. And as someone who kind of likes taking toughness because the extra health is nice, I say that knowing that. In the game I'm playing now, I had the ability to take toughness, and I chose the ability to hold my breath longer. But that's because holding your breath for 3 hours seems like it'd be hilarious than 3 extra health at this level. But I will eventually take it. Because I recognize how powerful stat buffs can be and how fun they can be because of that versus a unique ability. Like doubling your piloting skill can do some crazy stuff with it, but also just being able to move any distance you want is also powerful. Yeah, actually, if I want piloting to be able to move, I'm going to highlight this. Um, oh, I want you to be black. Possibly change to when you rotate, you can two instead of one. I'm gonna highlight this, make this yellow. It's a few of them I have kind of highlighted, but this kind of goes back to what do I do first? So I'm doing this first, and once I figure out ship movement, the higher order drifting may not apply. It may be a piloting skill that allows you to rotate 1 degree mid movement. And this allows you to rotate 2 in Canadian, which would be really cool for sharp turns. Actually, I'm going to write this here because I'm going to forget. Maneuver in DC as the ship size increases. Cool. Anyway, I mean, I'm making a game. I'm doing rough stuff. I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. It's just how it's going to be. Let's reach out. Yeah, I do like that. Um, You can use negotiation. No. Okay. So to accept the request. This request typically accepted by the fan. It causes it harm to the fan. If ask a fan to do check is required. You can basically just get a fan to help you out. Do one thing. One thing that immediately comes to mind is to like breaking like a like dashing smuggler requesting a fan to kind of hide them in their house. But it could be like, hey, go to the bank and like open an account. And then tell me what you see at the bank, like kind of case, like there's always a theft and I have trouble with. Do you want actually make these heading to? I guess that's not recording through, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on these some more. And we have to try these, but I do have one for Explorer I was thinking of. What is that? Yeah. Um, you enter an area with some. I don't know how I feel about this because what's some of the thing on the GM, like as a GM, it can be hard to keep track of your players' abilities, but I mean, you kind of have to rely on them to know. Like, you need to know the rules, but like, you also need to know that they know the rules. Um, so like, but this is, I think, is like a passive perception thing where you go, um, yeah, this is kind of roll your instinct. Do I have perception as a skill? I do like passive perception. Yeah. And perception and instinct kind of do something like passive perception is if you notice like a person lurking in the corner. Instinct is, do you think that there's danger there? Like, but like something's off. You can't put a feeling on it. Perception is I notice something. Instinct is lower than that, but not really. So, instinct check to see if you know something off. Um, yeah, explorers are just this wide galaxy full of mysteries and stuff. Yeah, this is, like, one thing I really like is the Bard's Jack of all trades. And I don't think I need classing it, but Explorer again. To all ruins or locations you are in. Yeah, because like space station stuff, like you'd be like, oh, I understand how this is supposed to work or how this, because I've explored kind of danger sense. Yeah, just kind of like ruin divers and stuff. Well, as you can see, I have a lot of work to do. This is going to take me a few weeks just as I try to figure out. I mean, I kind of was looking for 7, but 5 maybe one where they get it all eventually. Some good ones. I hate the idea of making them all equal because, but I might just have to. But regardless, I think I'm gonna call it quits for today. I'm gonna have to put some time into it. I'm probably not gonna make Sunday, so Tuesday I'll hopefully have some more ideas.